Welcome back to another Fat Vice Football highlights video for Week 4 Season 9 with another 12 games to bring you in this week's highlight videos. All matches will feature in this video available on your screen right now, so let's jump into the team lineups. Starting as always with Parmesan Belgrade. Captain Martin unavailable this week but still has Stephen, Chucky, Michael, Jordan and Paddy from the main roster, with Johnny and Lewis coming in to help from the Commissioner squad. Johnny, ex-Parmesan Belgrade player, finding a little home this season with Parmesan Belgrade. Looking at Flaberdeen now, Flaberdeen's lineup with Captain Paul available. He's able to also call upon Bernie, Sean, Jamie and Scott from the main roster lineup. Josh, ex-Parmesan Belgrade captain, comes in during his time in the Commissioner squad, and Ross comes to join him from the Commissioner squad as well to back them up this week. Next team for you is Scrandinavia. Scrandinavia's lineup missing their captain Lewis for this week, but Lewis is able to rely upon Thomas, Ian, Chris, Adam, Barry and Matthew, as well as the first season appearance for Homer. Stephen makes his debut for Scrandinavia, and rumours are he's a bit Champer-esque. Looking at O.B City now for Week 4, they have no Commissioner players that they need this week. Willie has a full lineup of core squad members available to them, including himself, Brian, Stevie, Lenny, Matt, Lewis, Stephen and Gogs, all available this week as OB look to push on in the league. Next team for you for the lineups is Rapid Viennetta. They only have one Commissioner squad that are needed to help their lineup this week. Other than that, they have a number of core roster players available that Cal can call upon, including Niall, Graham, Aidan, James, Mark, who's just joined Rapid Viennetta permanently, as well as obviously David from Commissioner squad. Now turning attention to Fatburn Rovers lineup for Week 4. They have a bit of a lighter team, but still a strong core lineup, with Terry, the captain, unavailable this week, but he's able to rely upon Sean, John, Tazzy, Mitchell, Timber and Stephen, all from the main lineup. Lewis from the Commissioner squad is also helping them out this week. Ivory Toast next up for Week 4 lineups, and we have a look at the lineup here and see that only Keith is the only Commissioner player in their squad this week. Greg is available this week and also has Paul, Kev, Boother, Liam, David and MJ all in the lineup this week, as Ivory Toast look to try and push on in their standing in the league. And finally, Bayern Bru's lineup for Week 4. They also have a single Commissioner player available for this week, and Roscoe as well is unavailable, as such as other captains this week. Colin, Martin, Paul, Andrew, Cheesy, Taylor and Martin F all available this week, with Kier coming in to help out with the numbers for Bayern Bru this week. And looking at the table before we jump into the highlights, Fatburn Rovers top on 19 points, Bayern Bru in second on 16, Ivory Toast on 15, joint with Parmesan Belgrade with goal difference separating. O.B City and Rapid Viennetta also split by goal difference from 13, Scrandinavia 9 and Flaberdeen on 6 points. First game for you this week is Bayern Bru versus Parmesan Belgrade. Bayern Bru in purple, shooting left to right, and Parmesan Belgrade in white, shooting right to left. Bayern Bru sitting in a really good position in the league, as an early save there by Taylor against Stephen there on screen for you. But the ball's been intercepted. Stephen with a cheeky back heel there and reaps the rewards. Brilliant technique there. But you have to say, that is a poor throw out there from Taylor. You see Stephen just hiding there off to the side there, not quite hiding, but taking his time and then intercepting the rollout, and then with a lovely back heel there into the back of net to put Parmesan Belgrade 1-0 up in this match. A fantastic start from them, hitting on the break straight away here as Paddy's through there. Nice little touch, tries the back heel as well, but it doesn't come off this time, unlike Stephen's earlier goal. As I was saying, Bayern Bru in a really good position in the league so far this season. However, this is a bit of a disastrous start for them, as Paddy there with a shot and Taylor with a save, but I think that might have been in the sensitive parts, but Taylor's up and well to carry on again. Great to see there, and that's dedication to the team shown by Taylor there, as Paddy has the ball once again across to Stephen, and Stephen sticks a second away in the back of the net for both him and for Parmesan Belgrade. Great hunting there by Paddy to go and get that ball, and the ball just slipped through the legs of Paul in front of him there. Stephen on the edge of the box takes his time and slots it cool and calmly into the back of the net to make it 2-0 to Parmesan Belgrade in this match. So their lead is increased and their position in this match has become even sweeter than it was earlier on. A fantastic start from Parmesan Belgrade. Having a bit of a mixed season, but looks like they're on the up and up so far. As the ball goes across to Michael, a new signing who just hits wide of the goal there. And Kier on loan from the Commissioner squad, playing it back to Taylor to have it safely into the goalkeeper's hands. Kier now once again with the ball at feet, looking to come forward as he plays it through to Cheesy, but Cheesy can't get it under control. And Lewis in goals there from the Commissioner team for Parmesan Belgrade. Picks up the ball, long ball thrown at there that is collected by Kier once again. Apologies to listeners if you hear my voice a little bit croaky. I've been a little bit under the weather, this commentator having to take a little bit of a rest earlier on this week. But no rest for the wicked as Parmesan Belgrade come forward and just shoots wide there from Paddy. The ball's collected once again, played in the middle from Stephen. Stephen looking for option. There's a run on the opposite side in Jordan. Jordan gets it this time. Jordan shoots. Jordan scores. And there's the third goal for Parmesan Belgrade in this match. Great play there from Parmesan Belgrade. They're playing it to the feet of Jordan, who made that delicate little run away from Andrew to get himself into space on the edge of the box there. Handshakes all round for the Parmesan Belgrade players as they are elated with the position they find themselves in. As Bayern Bru hit the post there through Kier. I think that might have taken a little touch off the goalkeeper Lewis in goals there for Parmesan Belgrade, so credit to him there for making that save. But Bayern Bru still unable to penetrate the Parmesan Belgrade defence as the ball shot wide there by Jordan, and they continue to carry on here. Bayern Bru with the being intercepted now as Jordan looks to play it into Chucky, and Chucky puts the ball in the back of the net, and that is the fourth goal for Parmesan Belgrade. Lovely counter-attack here on the transition from the Parmesan Belgrade players, and Chucky, cool as you like, first touch, just opens up his foot, slots in the back of the net, and Taylor has to watch that ball go into the back of the net once again, unfortunately for him, after making some dedicated saves earlier on in the match. And straight away, Chucky adds another to his tally and another to Parmesan's tally there. Good interception as he came forward there. Andrew tries to make the tackle there. Chucky, the feet is almost glued to the ball there, you have to say. And he gets that shot away to make it 5-0. And this is a bit of a doing for Bayern Bru here. Still not seen much reply from them. And it's a bit of a worry, to be honest, you have to say, this week that this is the first game for them and it's not starting off well. However, 2 other games after this to come back, and Taylor there showing that they're still in the game with a save there and trying to get his team on the break, and unfortunately nothing comes to it there. Taylor collecting the ball there for Bayern Bru and looks to get them underway once again with a good roll it there as Andrew is collecting. Andrew's through. He's got Martin there for help. Does he use him? No, he does not need him. And Bayern Bru finally get the reward in terms of a goal. They are lovely solo run there by Andrew. Great agility there and balance to get past Stephen there as he tried to block him off. Fairly, you have to say, it was a fair block from Stephen there, but Andrew was able to use his pace and agility to get past him there and get the goal for Bayern Bru. And so they've got something from this match. Could that spark a little bit of resurgence? It might be too much to ask. Although looking at how long is left, they might have enough time to get back in, but they'll have to keep going, and this is good signs of it there. But unfortunately for Martin there, looks like he was in the box. Referee has waved play on, considering that the goalkeeper made the save there and wouldn't really make a difference to the game anyway. But Bayern Bru still trailing by 4 goals. Interception though, they picked it up against Michael there. It's good save by Lewis and gets his hands on it there. Almost a bit of a panic stations there from the shot bouncing off of Lewis's hands there, but it didn't come to any danger there as Andrew takes the shot. Saved there by Lewis. Ball still in play as Coco picks it up and it's out of the box now. Lewis is tapped through by accident. Can they make something from this? Bayern Bru still not hitting the back of the net though as the ball bobbles around and Parmesan Belgrade get it under control. But they've lost it straight away here. Andrew's picked up in a great position. Takes the shot. It's gone wide. Unbelievably gone wide there. I thought it was going to nest on the back of the net, and now, disaster for Bayern Bru. About to say Parmesan on the counter-attack after that golden opportunity as Jordan picks up the ball here on the run into the middle of the pitch, takes a shot from distance and it goes into the back of the net. It's went from one end to the other. Disaster for Bayern Bru. It looked like they had the opportunity to get a second goal. Turns out it was a 6th goal against them, unfortunately. 6-1, the Parmesan Belgrade taking full advantage of any gifts that they are given by Bayern Bru, and the ball's into the middle of the box there. Coco unfortunately can't get under control. Lovely touch by Johnny to get away, and he's found Chucky. Can Chucky convert here? Takes his time. Yes, he does. Chucky gets a 7th there. This is absolutely clinical here from Parmesan Belgrade. You have to say, great touch by Johnny to get it past Coco, and then a fantastic pass through to Chucky, who just took his time in full confidence in that position there that he would eventually get the ball in the back of it. And it's 7-1 here for Parmesan Belgrade. They will be ecstatic with this. It's been a while since they've had such a high scoring win on the cards. Still a little bit of time left though. Bayern Bru could easily eat into that lead, but Parmesan Belgrade come forward once again. And with how clinical they've been, this could be a bit of a warning, though Taylor there with a very good save to deny Parmesan Belgrade and keep the score at 7-1 as Parmesan look to play it from the back all the way through to Chucky now. Chucky in the run there, plays it across. Taylor with the big hand out there to make the save, and once again denying Parmesan Belgrade, keeping the score as it is. Michael plays it across box. Great pass there by Michael as the ball's at the feet of Chucky. Chucky with a little touch there. Do you know, 9 times out of 10 that ends up sneaking in, but Taylor pulls off the save there right at the end of this game. Taylor pulling out the big saves as Andrew's shot is denied there by Lewis. And Andrew once again looking to find Kia. Kia with the shot. Lewis with a double save as Parmesan look to try and counter-attack but are unable to there. And the ball is back into the Bayern Bru half. Taylor once again, another massive save. And then a miss by Chucky here. You kind of feel the game is maybe drifting away a little bit, and to be honest, you don't really blame any of the players at this scoreline here, but there's still some battles going on as Johnny's won that ball and Cheesy comes along and makes that block there. Johnny hobbling a little bit, hopefully he's okay there. But Martin takes full advantage there and gets the goal for Bayern Bru there. Lovely little ball by Cheesy over the top as we were looking at Johnny there. But Martin continues to go forward, flicks it past Michael there, past Lewis and goals. And that is the second goal for Bayern Bru. And that is the full-time whistle, 7-2 to Parmesan. Game number 2, week 4, season 9, Fat Five Football sees O.B City versus Rapid Viennetta. O.B City in black shooting left to right, and Rapid Viennetta in orange shooting right to left. Both these teams looking to pick up maximum points as they try to push themselves up the league table. Rapid Viennetta having a fantastic week last week with 9 points out of 9. O.B City, they're or thereabouts in the title match. They are coming forward now actually with a shot on target there from Goggs, and it rolls into the back of the net to get Goggs a goal early on this week and to also add another one to his tally as he looks to try and defend for another season the chocolate golden boot for season 9. That will be his 4th in a row that he will be contesting for this season. However, he has got a little bit to go with other players pushing on this season, but it does not matter for this game as O.B City have the opening goal in this match. Rapid Viennetta on the defence now as Goggs comes forward once again, finding Stephen. Lovely play there with Goggs. It looks like it's intercepted, and James will collect for Rapid Viennetta though. But the rollout has not gone to his target there from James. Willie coming forward now. Willie pushing forward. Willie scores. The captain leading by example there. Brilliant interception. They are taking the ball away from Mark on the opposite side of the pitch there, and then has Aiden there for company, but manages to use the upper body strength to hold him up there. You can see almost crashing into the boards there. Brilliant finish into the bottom corner there by Willie, and gets his team the second goal of the match to extend their lead as Stevie there in goals for O.B City makes a save shortly after the kickoff there. So 2-0 in this match now to O.B City as Willie there making a block once again. Goggs plays it through to his captain who hits it just over the goals there, and Rapid Viennetta look to try and get the ball under control. Aiden now up to the camera against Stephen there. Stephen, just to note, was actually captain for Team of the Week with the most weight loss in this week 4 as Mark just hits wide there from the goal. So just keep an eye on Stephen. You might see him run a little bit faster this week with a superb 4 kilograms lost this week. Big Goggs now under pressure from Mark, but manages to get away from him there as Goggs pushes forward. Brings in Matt. Matt now looking to play across. It lands at the feet of Goggs, and Goggs says thank you very much as he puts the ball in the back of the net there. And you have to say, a little bit of fortune there from Goggs as the ball bounces off the foot of Aiden there, and then Goggs is able to get it under control and put it in the back of the net. See, a bit fortunate, you know, you've got to give credit to Goggs for getting that ball under control, but however, if Matt's ball had been intercepted there, it wouldn't have had the opportunity, as Lewis does exactly that, intercepts the ball and puts it in the back of the net for O.B City's fourth, and that is a poor pass there from Cal. You can see the deflated face there, and then tries to swing it a leg to make up for the mistake in the hand of apology. Unfortunately, the captain there being caught short against O.B City there, and they find themselves now 4-0 down in this game, and it becomes more of a difficult task to get back in. Such quick goals there from O.B City, as Matt on the other side has the ball there. Willie can't quite get the ball away. A couple of hands there, not sure. I think it bounced off a couple of bodies there as Stevie makes the save and rolls it out to Stephen. Stephen now coming through into the Rapid Viennetta half. Stephen dancing through, a little bit of a push there, but it's okay there. And Lewis's shot saved by James in the end. It's a good take there from Lewis, but unfortunately James in the right position to make that save. There's an opportunity there for Niall. It's blocked by Lenny. Now Willie goes to chase the ball up in the Rapid Viennetta half. It's back to Brian in the middle of the pitch. Brian has options, finds Lewis. Lewis with the shot, Lewis with the goal, and it rounds off a brilliant phase of attacking play there from O.B City. Brian dancing almost with that ball. If you see Graham there trying to jump all over the place, trying to put the block in there, and then Lewis just hits it first time into the back of the net. And yes, Cal, hands on heads time. It is 5-0 to O.B City. And just like we saw in the earlier game with Rapid Viennetta, the team in the lead has just been clinical in front of goal and has been the big difference this week for O.B City. As Lewis is away again, and Lewis takes a shot, but a crucial block there by Graham on the other side of the pitch means that James doesn't have to worry about making the save. So Rapid Viennetta look to get underway. Once again, poor ball out from the goalkeeper has presented an opportunity for O.B City. Lenny takes the shot, and Lenny gets the goal for O.B City. Correct me if I am wrong, viewers, and I'm happy to be corrected by any comments in the video comment section, but I believe that might be Lenny's first goal for O.B City. If it is indeed, congratulations Lenny, welcome to the scoring sheets for your team. If not, it's another goal to add to the tally. 6-0 now for O.B City, and they will be ecstatic with there's still plenty of time according to my counter in this match. But O.B City look fully in control of this game as Lewis picks up a loose ball there and just hits wide of the goal there. I fully expected that to be nestling into the back of the net, but no. Rapid Viennetta breathe a sigh of relief as O.B City come forward now through with Lenny, the last goal scorer that we saw there. A great save there from James to deny him a second goal in this match. O.B City applying more pressure onto the Rapid Viennetta goal there as Lewis has the opportunity. Lovely little turn, looks to play to Brian, and unfortunately Brian just can't get a strong enough connection on that to trouble James, but still required the goalkeeper to have a strong foot to deny that shot on target. O.B City coming once again, Rapid Vienna having no luck here, but thankfully James for them in goals there, making the save, and Graham calmly plays that back to his goalkeeper to ensure the ball is under their control. And once again, we're finding O.B City coming forward. This is just non-stop here from O.B City, constantly coming forward. Unbelievably, Goggs hits the post there after getting it past James, who came to the edge of his box there, and the post cruelly denies Goggs another goal there. But O.B City, just like anything you can guarantee in life, are coming forward once again. Matt has the ball, edge of the box, back to Goggs. Goggs with the shot, and this time Goggs does get the goal. No framework of the goal there, denying him this time as he rattles it into the back of the net. Lovely feet there from Matt to give Graham a clever little turn away there, and Goggs just rifles that underneath the crossbar to make it 7-0 for O.B City. That's right, viewers, 7-0 in this match. Rapid Viennetta will be deflated, you have to say. The Viennetta will be melting after being left out in the sun for too long. They need things to cool off so they can reshape themselves, but they're not getting the chance now as Lewis hits over the goal there, and that will give them a bit of relief there as Mark's coming forward now, but hits just wide. But it is a shot towards the goal as the ball is loose there, and Aiden can't get a touch on it there, unfortunately. Marks pick up the ball though on the other side of the pitch there, plays it into the middle. The shot there, high over the goal. The second one from Niall though is on target and does roll into the back of the net, and Rapid Viennetta have a goal in this game. You have to say though, it is very fortunate for them considering that they haven't had much shots on target. However, credit to Niall for that though. It has curled into that bottom corner away from Stevie in goals. A nice finish from him there, taking advantage of the second ball available there, and they've got a chance here with Aiden, and Aiden's shot is saved there by Steve. There's hands up there. Oh, and the penalty's been given by the referee. Let's have a quick look at that. The shot there, it does look like the goalkeeper was in the box there, but the referee saw otherwise, and the referee has given the penalty, and it is saved. But the second follow-up is put in by Aiden. Great save there from Stevie, you have to say, there to start with. Down and low there, just cruelly for him. It's landed straight back at the feet at Aiden there, and Rapid Viennetta have 2 goals now. Maybe a bit of controversy there, however, the referees have to make these calls in real time depending on the angles and what's happening there. We have the advantage of slow replay there. But for the viewers and for myself watching this back, we can maybe feel a little thread of sympathy for O.B City until you look at the scoreline and realise it's 7-2. I think they'll be able to sleep tonight with the 7 goals anyway. It doesn't have much of a blot on the final scoreline anyway, as Rapid Viennetta try, but are unable to, and it ends 7-2 to O.B City. Game number 3 at week 4 Fat 5 Football Season 9. It sees Scrandinavia versus Ivory Toast. Scrandinavia in red shooting left to right, Ivory Toast in yellow shooting right to left, and David there for Ivory Toast hitting there just above the goal, almost a goal straight away from the start. That would have been a fantastic start for Ivory Toast against Scrandinavia this week, as David has the ball once again, and this time David does hit the target. He keeps the shot low and does get the goal, and we apologise for any viewers offended by the celebration there from David. I think he was getting about wound up by the players on the sideline there. Doesn't take anything away from the goal there, and it makes it 1-0 to Ivory Toast. And so that lead did not last long though, as Homer straight away from the kickoff. Matthew there controlling the ball well. That's a brilliant ball by Matthew, you have to say, flicking that through for the on-run of Homer there. MJ can't keep up, and Homer just digs that into the bottom corner, making his return finally for Season 9 and finally for Scandinavia, and rewarded with the first goal for his team. So 1-1 in this game after 2 quick-fire goals. And David now has the ball. We split out to MJ, and MJ now has changed the scoreline once again. It is now 2-1. A brilliant pass through from David there. Has 2 players there for company and looks to flick that out. I don't know whether it looks on purpose, but there's a little bit of fortuitousness, you have to say, to David there, because it didn't look clean, but MJ hit the shot clean and got it in the back of the net to make it 2-1. Doesn't matter anyway, they've got the goal as Chris comes forward, and Chris just hits wide, and I panicked there thinking there would be another goal before I got my sentences out, but no, thanks to Chris I've got a chance to kind of collect myself as Thomas hits the crossbar from that header. This game has had everything in the opening few minutes. Almost an own goal to add to the collection as Thomas runs on through and David gets the ball. Maybe it's landed at Homer, and Homer hits it first time. Thomas raises a hand. I think he's claiming the assist on that one, to be honest. He's going to be hard strung for that, you have to say. Got no touch on that at all. It's actually David who's assisted Homer, and Homer puts it in the back of it. Big credit to Homer for keeping cool and slotting that away. But unfortunately for Ivory Toast, they definitely created that chance for Scandinavia. I think you can see the little chuckle there on Liam as he looks at David, knowing full well David set him up for that. And it's 2-2 in this match. The dancing legs of David have created a chance here for Booth, and he's put it away. And this is just absolute chaos in this game, you have to say. From a defensive point of view, both these teams have been absolutely shocking, you have to say. But Boother has put that in the back of the net, and Ivory Toast puts himself back in the lead. I look at that fist bump from David. You can tell he feels vindicated after his mistake just there to set up Homer for their second goal. And it's now 3-2 to Ivory Toast. And if viewers hadn't heard it already, I've been struggling with a cold and my voice is gone, and this has definitely not helped me this week. So both these teams are getting cursed by me as Kev comes forward now and hits the underside of the crossbar, unfortunately for Kev there, but the score remains 3-2 in this match. Ivory Toast coming forward once again, but Scrandinavia collected as Chris comes forward. Chris takes a shot from distance, and a good save there from Greg to deny him there. The ball is now being rolled out into the Ivory Toast half as they look to try and get forward. But Scrandinavia picked up as Chris cuts in. Chris now with company takes a shot, and another save there from Greg to deny Chris. And the scoreline remains unchanged here as Ivory Toast look to get things started. Long throw there all the way to Kev. Kev's got Matthew for company though, as Kev looks to get the shot away, and a good save there from Barry and an opportunity, but unfortunately Thomas just could not get that ball under control there and has no David beside him to help create an assist for him this time. Chris, ball at feet. Is he going to shoot from distance? He does, and the save there from Greg denies him. Ian goes into the corner to try and win it, but it sounds like as if it's actually hit the referee. The ball has actually hit the referee there for a moment there. I thought the free kick had given, but it's been gone back because the referee's been in the way of the ball there. Rolled out by Greg, and then it's landed on Homer, and Stephen has a chance there, and Stephen making his debut at Fat Five Football, his debut for Scandinavia, and he gets a goal in the first match there. A bit unfortunate, the ball was going to be played out to David there. It ricochets off a Homer, and Stephen takes full advantage and absolutely wellies that into the back of the net. And Stephen, the commissioner player making his debut, has brought the Scandinavian team back to 3-3 here. So we are back at level score here as David's header there almost into the back of the net, but bounces off the backboard. Scandinavia looking to come forward. Chris looking to play up long. Finds Homer. Can Homer get the shot away? He does. And it is just wide and the ball rolls into the corner there. Kev comes out with it though. Kev's still driving forward. Has Ian to keep him company there, but it is ricocheted off of Chris. But Kev looks like he's going to win that the corner, and he does. And he finds MJ, and MJ just strokes that into the bottom corner there. And that is 4-3 now to Ivory Toast. Brilliant work there by Kev, you have to say. Never gave up that ball, hounded it all the way across the pitch. And then MJ just stroked that into the bottom corner there. And Barry just couldn't get his feet in the right position in order to make the save. And it's gone into the back of the net to make it 4-3 there as Stephen loses the ball. And Ivory Toast come forward, but the block there by Ian. And the shot by David just goes wide for Ivory Toast there, so no luck from them to hit back instantly once again. Scandinavia up in the Ivory Toast half of Chris, and Greg makes a save there to deny Chris a chance on goal there. He's laid it out to one of his players at the back, and now Kev's coming forward with it. Kev takes the shot over the goals there, bounce back. David tries to collect. Scandinavia collect the bouncing ball, and as Stephen comes forward, Stephen from distance, but it is blocked there and goes into the corner. And once again, we remind viewers, unfortunately, we cannot see these corners at times. As Stephen breaks away the ball, and Stephen gets a goal there, wins the ball in the corner, proceeds to head towards goal, and slots it away to make it 4-4. As I said, unfortunately, we cannot see the action in the corner there, but Stephen there showing great strength, manages to just stay on his feet as well. But a brilliant finish by him there to get his second goal on his first game, making his debut. Unbelievable statistic there from Stephen, making a massive impact for Scandinavia. And the score is 4-4 now as Ian tries to get that ball under control. David there trying to keep him company and forces him to stay in the corner with the ball. We'll wait to see who comes out with it. It's Chris who's picked it up though. Back to Homer. Homer takes the shot. Save there from Greg, and not a chance on the follow-up there. The rollout from Greg is not worked though. Stephen's picked up the ball. He's going to shoot from distance. What a finish there from Stephen to take Scandinavia into the lead there. Brings that ball down from the air and then just smashes it from about halfway there. You can see the kickoff point there. And Greg is just left standing watching that ball hit the back of his net. And Stephen has completed a hat-trick on his first game, on his first week here at Fat Fives Football. Safe to say he will be a player in demand by all teams. So we watch with eager eyes to see how he continues to fare over the upcoming weeks and eventually who he lands with. David now with a shot there, and a great save there from Barry, almost doing the splits. Bit of a Bambi-esque save, but he does not care as that has stopped Ivory Toast from getting back into the game and has allowed his team to come forward now. Chris has the ball at feet, looking to push forward, trying to get past David there, but David the block, but Homer will pick up, and it's back to hat-trick hero Stephen here. Stephen plays the ball across to Chris. Chris with a little touch there. Probably more than a little touch, but it's a fantastic finish there by Chris. It's a well-placed finish there. Ball cuts through the middle of the pitch there. Brilliant running by Chris on some excellent wavelength there from Stephen to understand where that ball is going. You can see why he's given the thumbs up for it. And 6-4 is now the scoreline for Scrandinavia. They have certainly turned this game around. You have to say a lot of the credit goes to Stephen for that turnaround. Entering the last bit of play here, Ivory Toast looking to keep the ball under control as Boother comes forward, tries to get past Stephen, but showing his wonderful abilities there. And it's full time, 6-4 to Scrandinavia. Game number 4 for you this week, week number 4. Fat Fives Football Season 9 sees Fatburn Rovers versus Flaberdeen. Fatburn Rovers in green, shooting left to right. Flaberdeen in blue, shooting right to left. Timber with the ball early on here. Plays it back to John. John with the early goal here as it ricochets off a couple of bodies. But nonetheless goes into the back of the net there. Timber winning that ball well. Playing it into John. And then John getting the shot away as it bounces through. And then goes into the back of the net for the opening goal, both in this game and for John this week, as he looks to be in hot pursuit after that golden chocolate boot, although has struggled in recent weeks. So need to wait to see if this is the week where he picks up some of the slack from previous weeks, as he's got the ball at feet once again. Through to Terry. Terry with the save there. Sorry, Terry's shot saved there by Burnley. And get my words out right. Long ball played up to Jamie on the run there with Terry for company, but looks like it is being put under control. And as we say every time, we apologise for any action in the bottom corners as Jamie comes away with it, and it hits off the post cruelly for Jamie and Flaberdeen. And now Timber's on the run. Timber running through. Timber looks to play it across the goal. Burnley's there, and with a double save between Burnley and post. And now there's shouts that he's out the box here. And there's some clapping, not sure why. Let's have a look. It's really hard to tell from our angle, unfortunately, and the referee in this match has said that it's not going to be given as a penalty. So we continue on. Fatburn Rovers still 1 goal to the good in this game. Couple of shrugs there from the players. A lot of whinging going on this week, but we shall see how the rest of the game goes off. Mitchell continuing forward there. Mitchell playing in black, obviously, with a shortage of bibs just now. John there with the ball. And there's a bit of a tackle there, but there's a goal there from John. Referee waving advantage there to John, I think. Let's have a look a bit on the replay. See there. I think, yeah, John there is in a good position. He's got in on goal. The hands are up there from, I believe it's Ross, who's on the commissioner team for Flaberdeen there. But the goal stands. John definitely will take the goal there as the teams get underway once again. Flaberdeen look to play it from the back and Josh has the ball at feet, but unfortunately nothing comes from that there. John looking to play Mitchell. Mitchell looks to play the pass. Looks like it's been intercepted though, and now it goes all the way through to John. Now once again, John playing it back to Sean there. Sean taking the ball with a little bit of touch there, playing it all the way through to Lewis from the commissioner's team. John now, ball at feet. John, will he take the shot on? He does, and it squirms under the foot of Burnley in goals there. A poor goalkeeping effort there, you have to say. John there just takes that touch, moves it away, and then the foot try to save there from Burnley, and it just worms its way under the foot. Head and hands there from Flaberdeen. It looked like it was probably going to be a routine save. It was more of a routine goal there for John. 3-0 now the score as Burnley looks to get the ball up there, and it's intercepted by John, who's went from attacker to defender. And actually, a side note there, John has now completed his hat-trick in this match already, so those 3 goals do wonders for him in the chocolate boot, as Jamie makes a brilliant save there against John as he tries to flick that past him after bringing that under control. Burnley now out on to the pitch outfield with some nice footwork there, but has lost the ball, and it looks like it is Sean there on the other side with the shot that has been deflected. It is Sean, I can see now a little bit better. Mitchell now with the bib on, plays it through to John, and John just hits it wide. Sean there with a chance. Jamie there with the save. Absolute chaos happening in front of the Flaberdeen goal here. The ball just not able to get under control by either team, and pot shots just being fired as it bounces around, but eventually Flaberdeen get it. That's a great ball through to Josh though. Josh plays it back to Burnley. Burnley with a strike, and Burnley makes up for his mistake in goals by providing Flaberdeen with a goal. Josh, lovely little touch there on the run to play it back to Burnley, and then Burnley coming forward, hits it from distance there, and Stephen Ingalls unable to get a foot out there to make the save. Jason missing this week, unsurprisingly, after that concussion from last week. So Stephen Ingalls for Fatburn Rovers. As a shot there from Mitchell just goes high over the goal there. Jamie watching that go flying past his goal and will be relieved that it's gone wide. A little bit of a substitution happening here on the pitch now. Fatburn Rovers switching over their players, and the game will get underway. Stephen plays through to Mitchell. Mitchell now looking to come forward. Plays it through to Tazzy. John plays it back to Tazzy in the middle. Tazzy with the head. Tazzy with the goal, and that is a fantastic worked goal there from Fatburn Rovers. Stumbled a little bit over my words. I'm just flabbergasted with the quality of the play here from Fatburn Rovers. Brilliant finish there by Tazzy, but an all-round great team goal from everybody starting from the back there. I think only one player on their team didn't actually touch the ball in that move, so credit for the teamwork there for Fatburn Rovers. But I've said this before, this team has been pretty solid in green for a few seasons now, and they're starting to reap the benefits of understanding how each and every one of them play with each other. So let's just see how the rest of this week goes. And as Mitchell wins the ball off a Burnley, and he's hit wide as he looks up to the sky in anguish. You just feel it for him there. It was a golden opportunity, and Burnley has a little bit of the shifty eyes as he pretends nothing went wrong there. As Jamie makes the save there from John. John tries to flick that ball on his head, but a little bit of a failure there from him there. But he won't care. His team's 4-1 ahead in this match, as the ball is picked up by Paul there for Flaberdeen. Jamie now, ball at feet, looking to get the team restarted. The ball spit out through to Sean. Oh, what a wonderful back heel, and what a finish there by Burnley. That is a brilliant move there from Flaberdeen. The two new boys for Flaberdeen connecting there, Sean. That is just brilliant. The pressure there from Mitchell, flicked that through, and then Burnley finished that off. And you have to say, if Flaberdeen can do more of that in the upcoming weeks and the upcoming games, it will serve them well as they look to try and get themselves off the bottom of the table. However, it's still 4-2. They need to do that at least another 2 more times in order to salvage something from this match. And right now, they are defending against Fatburn Rovers. Scott now trying to defend there. Timbers picked up on the opposite side. Jamie comes out and makes the save and cannot get a touch on it there. And it is cleared from the Flaberdeen edge of the box there by Captain Paul. Ball up into the Fatburn Rovers half. John plays through Tazzy. Tazzy looks to try and find a player there. Finds Timber. Brilliant run there by Timber, and a good finish from him there. Tazzy on the opposite side of the pitch, and if you look over, you can see that run of Timber. It is very late there, just that last little burst of speed in the right direction to get in front of Scott, and then a great touch there to put it in the back of the net to make it 5-2, and that just might be the final blow in this. Well, actually, no, it's not. Josh has got something to say about this game as he sticks the ball in the back of the net. They're straight from kick-off. A lovely little routine there. Fits within the rules of the game. The ball did get played backwards by Ross to Josh there, and he hits it from distance, and it is 5-3. So back to only a 2-goal lead for Fatburn Rovers with John on the ball once again. Will he be able to make a difference? Back to Timber, back to Mitchell. Oh, and Jamie there, great foot just stuck out there to deny there as Tazzy hits wide, and the Flaberdeen will look to get this ball under control ASAP here. As Ross comes forward, Ross then plays it there, and the referee's given a free kick here. It is said for handball. It's not at all there. It's stuck into the legs there. Fatburn Rovers will feel a little bit aggrieved by that. However, they're still winning 5-3. And just nothing comes from that free kick. So no danger there for Fatburn Rovers. As Timber has the ball at feet, looks to flick it up towards Mitchell. Mitchell has Scott there for pressure. Still has the ball though, Mitchell. Mitchell takes a shot. Saved there by Jamie. John with the shot. Referee blows full time. 5-3 to Fatburn Rovers. We're on to game number 5. Scrandinavia versus Flaberdeen. Scandinavian red shooting left to right, Flaberdeen and blue shooting right to left. Apologies for laughing without context there. You could hear Josh, who's on the commissioner squad, help out Flaberdeen this week, getting very passionate from the sidelines there as Ian comes through, and Ian almost gets the opening goal there, meaning Josh's words of passion fell a little bit on deaf ears there. Scrandinavia looking to try and get another 3 points here. Flaberdeen looking to try and stop a little bit of the rot, and that is a great start for them there. Scott definitely taking in the words of Josh there and applying them to his strike there. A shot from distance through on target there, and unfortunately for Barry, could not make a good save to deny him there, and it's 1-0 to Flaberdeen in the match. Scandinavia looking to come forward now. Adam playing it through to Thomas, but Ross there able to get a touch on it and then nods it back to Jamie in goals there. Jamie looking to get things started for Flaberdeen, plays it through to Bernie. Bernie tries to get the ball under control there, plays it through to Sean. Sean now with the shot, Sean with the goal, and it is suddenly 2-0 to Flaberdeen in this game. Maybe those resounding words of encouragement from Josh have actually had an effect on the Flaberdeen players, and maybe I misjudged it with the laughter. 2-0 now. Great finish there from Flaberdeen, and Scrandinavia find themselves behind in this match early on, and they're going to have to find a way to get a goal in this game. Chris there with the ball at feet. Sean stands off from there. Chris still has the ball. Chris with the shot. Chris with the goal, and that is the reply there from Scrandinavia. Brilliant solo goal from Chris there. The players stood off him there. Bunny round the back thinking the pass is coming there, but Chris decides him go himself and slots it into the bottom corner to give Scrandinavia their opening goal in this match. So it's now 2-1 in this game. Scandinavia have managed to carve their way back into this. Still losing, still behind by a goal, but they've got themselves an opportunity there. Just a word of note, you might have heard there was a tournament going on at the same time as our game, so throughout our videos you may hear air horns and whistles. But don't worry, I will keep everybody right if you ignore those noises. The cheers, though, were always for our boys, for no one else. As Stephen wins the ball, and Stephen absolutely blasts that into the back of the net there. The ball loose there as Ross tries to come across and win it. Stephen there, lovely little turn, using his upper body strength there, and just absolutely smashes that into the back of the net. Surprised the goals are still standing after that's hit there. But that's Scandinavia now back fully into this game, making it 2-2 now in this match, as early on there the shot goes high over the goals there from Josh the motivator. Bernie, ball on the opposite side of the pitch, plays it through to Scott. Scott now has a shot, and that hits off the woodwork to deny Scott a second goal in this match. Flaberdeen still have the ball though. Bernie, ball at feet, looking to come forward now. Plays it to Scott, and the 1-2 doesn't quite come off, and it rolls all the way through to Barry, who rolls it out to Stephen, who had that wonderful shot. He's used the boards now, and he's through. Oh, an interception there. But absolutely unbelievable there. Josh made a brilliant stop there against Stephen. You see there, the ball gets tangled. In fact, it gets tangled up in Stephen's feet. Josh has no idea where that ball is. Jamie's went and made the save, and Chris collects it there. You could say massive slice of luck there. I was going to say fortune, but slice of luck there for Scandinavia. And that ball stayed exactly where it was, so Chris could get on the end of it, and they have now gone into the lead in this match. 3-2 the scoreline now as Homer nicks the ball away there from Josh and tries to get the shot, but it is closed down by Ross in defensive role for Flaberdeen as Chris comes forward. Chris to the edge of the box, and Chris slots it past Scott and goals, and that's 4-2 now, and Scandinavia are fully back into this game, you would have to say. They are a great finish there by Chris, and a great solo run after Homer won that ball well earlier on. So 4-2 now in this match as Flaberdeen look to try and come forward. Paul finding Jamie to Josh, but unfortunately nothing comes from it there. Stephen has the ball in the Scandinavia half and is looking for a teammate there, finds Homer, but the ball is bounced off him, and it's at the feet of Jamie there, and Homer gets back and gives it all the way back to Barry after a brilliant save by him there. Josh tries to get past Homer, but unable to. Homer does win the ball and gets it across to Stephen, who is rammed the ball into the corner. Will he come out on top with the ball? He does, but the shot is saved by Scott, and Stephen will have to start again. And he does so, and he takes the shot now, and Stephen's got another goal to his name. Absolutely nonchalant, as you like there. Nice little turn. Everybody a little bit too relaxed, you might have to say, in the Flaberdeen defence there. And he slots it past Scott in goals there to give him 2 goals to himself in this match, and Scrandinavia a 5th. And as a note that I've just noticed there on the graphic, Chris has actually completed a hat-trick in this game. So this could be Chris making a late charge to make an attempt for the chocolate boot this season. Burnley plays the ball through to Sean. Sean with the shot, but it looks like it took a nick there and just went wide, luckily enough for Scrandinavia. Stephen, now, the man with 2 goals to his names, has the ball at feet, looking to make a run there, but it is closed down by Flaberdeen. Sean back heels it through to Burnley. Burnley with a shot. Burnley gets the goal and reduces the lead Scrandinavia had down to 2 goals now. Once again, Sean, nice little back heel, same as what he did, or very similar to what he did in the opening game there. And Burnley hits that from distance into the bottom corner with Barry having no chance to get anything on it. 5-3 the scoreline here as Homer comes forward. And Homer adds another one to the scoreline. 6-3 now. A quick attack there from the kickoff. Homer receiving the ball there and decides to push forward on his own there and hits it from distance, and it goes into the back of the net. Scrandinavia getting a very quick 6th goal from the kickoff there, and unfortunately Flaberdeen find themselves back to being 3 goals behind as Paul takes a shot from distance there, but unable to replicate Homer's effort just moments ago. The ball rolled out by Barry for Scandinavia, goes to the feet of Homer there. Homer now having Jamie for company, and Homer gets another goal there. Shot not quite from the same distance, maybe a little bit closer this time, but a nice little back heel there and a turn, and then hits it with the left foot, curls it into the bottom of the corner there, and Scott in goals for Flaberdeen, unable to do anything to deny the shot. And that puts us on 7-3 now, and Scandinavia's lead has increased in this match as they try to come forward once again. Flaberdeen's goal under thread once again. Paul now in goals, and Ross with the ball at feet. Ross plays the pass there to Scott. Scott tries to get the shot away, but Barry gets low and gets some strong hands behind him to deny him there. The fans going wild for this match, as you can maybe hear in the background as Scott receives the ball. Ball played through to Burnley. Burnley takes the shot, and it's saved there by Barry. Scandinavia now coming forward with the ball with the last moments of play here. Chris goes looking for the ball in the Flaberdeen half. Comes away with it. Doesn't actually. Scott has it. Can Scott get a final chance here? Scott coming through. Scott. Oh, he just lets it roll into the goalkeeper's box. The referee blows full time. 7-3 final score. Game number 6 sees Parmesan Belgrade versus Ivory Toast. A week 4 Fat Fives Football Season 9. Parmesan Belgrade, with the early shot on target there, are also playing in white and shooting left to right. Ivory Toast in yellow doing defending there, but now on the attack in yellow, shooting from right to left. The ball in the Parmesan Belgrade half right now is being charged down there by the Ivory Toast players, and it looks like Kev just got the last touch there as it goes through to Lewis in goals for Parmesan. Intercepted though, and MJ with the strike. Great interception there from MJ, and he rifled that in the back of the net there. See, that ball comes across there, puts the foot out, lets it bounce, and then hits it on the half volley into the back of the net. Brilliant goal there from MJ to add another one to his tally this week alone. And Ivory Toast find themselves 1-0 up in this match. And they've won the ball away very early from kickoff once again. Very strong starts from Ivory Toast, but Parmesan Belgrade look like they're coming back with Paddy. Paddy to Stephen. Stephen just getting the ball under control. He's done it again. He's done it again. He did that in the first game. A cheeky back heel there for the opening goal. And he's done the same thing again. You can see it there. Not quite, actually. You know what? He hasn't quite done it again. It's a bit more of a Rabona. But to be honest, he's just got away with it twice. Somebody needs to stop him. Stephen with another absolute flare of a goal there. And it's the opening goal for Parmesan Belgrade to bring us 1-1 in this match. I can't believe we've seen it almost twice now. But Stephen now with the ball coming forward there, and Greg there with a simple save. Tries to roll out to Kev, but Stephen read it. And Stephen comes forward once again, lifts the arm, takes the shot, and it's a goal there for Stephen. A second goal for him there. Brings that ball down there, cuts into the middle of the pitch, a bit of a dummy there with the arm being raised, and then takes the shot there. Might have nicked off a Paddy on the way in. However, we're giving it to Stephen rather than Paddy, and I think the rest of the team are as well. So 2-1 is the score line now, as a shot from distance there for Ivory Toast but it's saved by Lewis and goals. And Parmesan Belgrade away now, and Paddy's shot too powerful for Greg. He made the save, but the ball ricocheted off and spun into the back of the net. We'll have a closer look here. Paddy takes the shot there. Greg gets the hands out, and it's just not strong enough to push the ball away as it goes behind him into the back of the net. And it's now 3-1 to Parmesan Belgrade. All action in this game, and is this a sign of things to come in this match? Quick goals galore as the ball almost makes it all the way to Chucky there, but Kev gets a vital touch there to stop it rolling through. But Greg there with the shot, and it bounces off of Paddy there. The shot coming from just offside the camera there. Jordan out with opportunity, and it hits the underside of the bar. Parmesan Belgrade there almost on 2 occasions there, getting a 4th goal, but unable to. They still have the ball in their possession, so long ball's played all the way up. And it bounces off the backboards. Greg takes the touch there. There's shouts. Paddy carries on regardless and gets the 4th goal in this match. You see here, Greg tries to reach there. There's some shouts. I'm not quite sure. It's a really terrible angle to be able to make that call for us. Close to the referee side. The referee has continued to play on. Paddy's played on and gets the reward for keeping his concentration in a goal. 4-1 now to Parmesan Belgrade. And most games would end at a scoreline like this, but there is so much time left on the clock. You have to think there'll be more goals in this game from either side here, as they both had an electric start to this match. As Jordan's on the run here, plays it through to Paddy, and Paddy gets the ball under control there, but he's now cut in himself, takes the shot just wide there. The rebound lands with Jordan though, and Jordan looks to find Johnny, but Jordan almost wins it again. Lay him away, but Paddy has won it back here. The possession's going to and fro between these teams. Paddy with the shot, Paddy with the goal there. Massive credit to Parmesan Belgrade, just absolutely hounding that ball off of Ivory Toast there, and Paddy continuing to run with that ball, finding space and get the shot away to make it 5-1 now in this game. Incredible stuff so far, and Paddy rounds off a hat-trick for him there. Stephen with 2 goals, Paddy with 3, and Johnny there getting the ball back into his goalkeeper, and not forgetting MJ's opening goal in this match when everything looked so bright and rosy for Ivory Toast, but now they find themselves 4 goals behind. Kev looking to play it to David. David with it. Oh, what a save there by Lewis. Unbelievable save there. You know, for certain that David was going to be wheeling away in celebration. I think he'd already wheeled off in celebration, but the combination of the goalkeeper and the framework there, and it denied Ivory Toast a second goal. Ivory Toast coming forward now. David with the ball. Looks to try and backheel it. Johnny there, block it off. David still has it. Still coming forward and just shoots wide of the goal there. But eventually it's picked up by Parmesan Belgrade. Johnny has it now in the middle of the pitch. Johnny's kind of ran himself into a bit of a dead end, and then possession switched again, and it's switched once again, and Stephen comes forward now, and Stephen has punished Ivory Toast there and rounds off a hat-trick for him as well. 2 players for Parmesan Belgrade currently sitting on hat-tricks in this game. What a shot there underneath the crossbar, and Greg there looking to the heavens there in frustration. 6-1 now the scoreline. Once again, another scoreline you would expect to see at the end of a match. I tell you right now, viewers, we're only halfway through this game. This is incredible stuff here from Parmesan Belgrade. Big win from early on. It looks like it's going to be on track for another big win unless there's mistakes here, but it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, and he's able to restart them. Stephen now with the ball, playing it all the way up to Jordan. Jordan on the run, takes it down with the shot, hits the post, it goes in, and that's a 7th goal for Parmesan at Belgrade. Incredible stuff here. Kev tried to run alongside Jordan there to try and put him off there. It looked like that might have bobbled past the goals there, but it dinks off the post, and you can see Jordan watch that ball all the way through until it hit the post to go in. Like even he thought it was going to just go wide of the goal, but it didn't. And that's the 7th goal for Parmesan Belgrade. Electric stuff from them in this match. Ivory Toast will be feeling like they have been hit by a 10-ton truck, as David does well to keep the ball there, but it just rolls into the goalkeeper's box there. MJ unable to get a touch on that ball there. Chucky coming forward now for Parmesan Belgrade. And you have to say, Chucky hasn't done much in this game so far, but look at this run from him. Unfortunately for him, it's saved by Greg, but a good save there as well. So through to David. David with a shot. David hits the post, and Ivory Toast denied by the woodwork once again. Parmesan Belgrade, though, have the ball. And the shot there, and Jordan gets the ball in the back of the net. The absolute cruelty of football, you have to say. One end of the pitch, Ivory Toast denied by the woodwork. It lands right at the feet of Jordan there, and then Jordan hits it from distance and puts it in the back of the net. And Ivory Toast, you can see the deflation on them now as they realise how far behind they find themselves now. But unfortunately, they'll have to keep continuing on as the ball goes into half. And Paddy's won it here. Paddy's through on goals. And Paddy gets another, and that's a 9th goal for Parmesan Belgrade. Unbelievable stuff here. 9-1 in this match. Paddy runs through to the middle of the goals there and slots it away there into the bottom corner of the goal there. 9-1 the scoreline. Incredible scoreline here for Parmesan Belgrade. And it wasn't long ago we were seeing it, Parmesan Belgrade being the team who is on the end of these sort of score lines. How time has changed for them, and is this a statement week for them as they try to change their fortunes? Chucky, their lovely footwork here. You got to feel actually as well for Ivory Toes watching their player from last season, Chucky, doing this against them as he comes forward, plays it through there for Paddy. Paddy just unable to get out of his feet there, and now Liam comes forward. Liam takes a shot, but it's closed down by Johnny. And the ball is in the middle of pitch. Paddy's picked it up now. Chucky waving him through. Paddy with a shot. Paddy with the goal. The man has been on fire in this match, Paddy. Takes that ball there away from MJ. Chucky literally just tells him where the goal is. Paddy follows suit, takes the shot there, head down through all that as well, and he finishes off 10-1 now the match score. 10-1. Unbelievable stuff here as Ivory Toes look to try and get anything at this match. Once again, the ball is lost and it lands with Stephen. Stephen finds Jordan. Jordan coming forward, looks to find Stephen. Stephen with a shot. Great save there from Greg. He's looking up at the sky there. I don't know whether it's just the fact that the shot was able to get away there or he made the save, but in either case, it's gone worse for Ivory Toast there as Stephen smashes it past Greg there. That's a poor pass by Kev, unable to find the target there, and Stephen takes that shot on. He's in a fantastic position. There's nothing else to be said about that. Takes it well, but unfortunately for Ivory Toast, this is really started to get to me. You could tell that as well, but a good shot away there by Kev as it just goes wide. Bruther, though, has picked up the ball, finds MJ with a shot, and that's a save there from Lewis. And those sort of goalkeeping saves for Parmesan Belgrade will definitely be doing as much mental damage to Ivory Toast as the goals are, because they will feel like they're unable to get anything out of this. The Ivory Toast boys will be absolutely feeling fully deflated now with this, and you've got to feel sorry for them. But these things can happen in these games as Paddy wins the ball there and just shoots wide of the goal there, and Kez now having to run across. You know, everybody's actually standing there. It feels like as if the game is done for everybody, but not for Kev, who gets a goal to his name there and reduces the goal difference there. Everybody, including Parmesan Belgrade players, you have to say, nobody went for that ball. Everybody taking that opportunity at the rest, and Kev just smashes that past Lewis in goals. That might perk up the Ivory Toast boys there as they've managed to get a goal in this match as the ball goes through all the way through the Chucky. A bit of juggling there, finds Michael, but MJ comes across and gets it, and there's maybe a little bit extra now in the run of Ivory Toast. But the ball's lost to Paddy, and Paddy just continues to absolutely kick a dead horse here, you have to say. It's really cruel, and the boys would never tell him to stop scoring when there's opportunities, but honestly, it's like the Simpsons meme, you have to say. It's 12-2 now to Parmesan Belgrade. Ivory Toast, you know what, Ivory, just take it into a corner and hold it, man. I don't think anybody would blame you. They look to come forward now. They come forward with the ball. There's the defensive line there. Stephen wins the ball now, and is this going to get worse for Ivory Toast? Stephen coming forward now, still has the ball at feet. Kev there, thank goodness, makes the block there. Everybody's looking at the ref there. The final whistle does go. 12-2 to Parmesan Belgrade. Game number 7, Rapid Viennetta versus Fatburn Rovers. Rapid Viennetta in orange, shooting left to right, and Fatburn Rovers in green, shooting right to left. Early on there, Rapid Viennetta getting the shot away on the Fatburn Rovers goal there, as a scream of frustration in the background there. I'm not sure what game that's from, as Cal comes forward here, and the save there by Terry in goals there. Captain doing captain's work in the goals for his team. Quick rollout there, brilliant take here by Aiden. Aiden through on goal, but just wide with the shot there, unfortunately. Unable to get it on target. Tazzy, lovely little work using the boards there as he gets past Cal, but Timber unable to make anything of it. And now Cal for Rapid Viennetta running to collect that ball after it's been cleared out by James. Unfortunately, in the corner, we can't see quite what's going on, but interchanging there with Niall. Finds Aiden, and it's in the back of the net there. The opening goal goes to Rapid Viennetta there. Great finish there by Aiden. The ball being exchanged between Cal and Niall there, and eventually Aiden, who's standing on the edge of the box, able to receive it and convert the goal there. So 1-0 to Rapid Viennetta as Fatburn Rovers look to try and get forward now, but eventually goes all the way through to James in goals for Rapid Viennetta. Fatburn Rovers with the ball once again looking to come forward. They play it all the way out wide here, and eventually it's picked up by Rapid Viennetta. Cal now, ball at feet, but there is Lewis. Lewis now looking to switch play, but it's been intercepted there. Interceptions happen now. Mark has it. Mark takes the shot, and Mark manages to squeeze it past Terry in goals there, and that is the second goal for Ivory Toast there. Nice little battle there, and then Mark through and on goals takes the shot and then slots it past the goalkeeper, and it's 2-0 in this match to Rapid Viennetta. Fatburn Rovers finding themselves behind after starting off this week at top of the league. Could this be a bit of what we call a coupon buster here? Fatburn Rovers behind in this game, but John now with the ball at his feet, but unable to get a shot away there. Once again, though, John playing it from the back. He's lost it, though, and the ball's coming forward now, played across to Mark. Mark, and he can't quite get a good contact on it there, unfortunately, for Mark, and the ball is way back into the Fatburn Rovers goalkeeper. But now it's up in the Rapid Viennetta's half as they look to come forward, Fatburn Rovers, but eventually not, and Graham plays it back to his goalkeeper. James plays that long to Mark. Mark, he's got Aiden on the other side if he can find him, but he goes himself with the shot wide and bounces off the board, and now there's a chance for Fatburn Rovers to come forward. Timber looks to play out to Mitchell. Mitchell with the finish there. Great finish there by Mitchell. Good counter attack there from Fatburn Rovers. Timber picking up that ball after Mark's shot went wide there, and then Mitchell there just opens up the body and hits it into the bottom corner there. Great strike by Mitchell, and that is 2-1 to Rapid Viennetta in this game. Graham now looking to find that run of Niall just straight after kick-off. He's staying at the box and just wide there from Niall, unfortunately there. Timber trying to muster the Fatburn Rovers boys forward as Lewis is the ball on the opposite side there through to John. John up against Graham, but eventually it goes into the goalkeeper's box. James, though, plays it all the way up, and Mark and Niall there, and Mark with a shot, but it just goes behind the goal, unfortunately, for Rapid Viennetta. So 2-1 the scoreline now. Only a 1-goal lead for Rapid Viennetta as Fatburn Rovers look to get going. Once again, Mitchell, the long ball. Oh, very close there by him there. Looks speculative. And then James on the second save there. Taji now with the ball up into the Rapid Viennetta half. Looks to find Lewis. Lewis playing it back to Tazi, and it goes all the way back through to John. John, hands on knees there. Maybe he got a little bit of an injury, or maybe just a bit tired now, but hopefully he's doing okay here as John with the shot is charged down by Graham. Graham finds Mark. Mark in a great position. Mark with the finish. Mark with the goal for Rapid Viennetta, and they are now back to a 2-goal lead here. All credit to Graham for stopping that shot from John and then lifting the head up to find Mark, and then credit to Mark for applying the finish. Cool, calm, and curls it into the bottom corner there, and Terry unable to get anything on it. So Rapid Viennetta back in control of this game after a little scare there when Fatburn Rovers got their goal just not that long ago, as I stumble over my words here. We start a new bit of play here as Tazi, the ball at feet, tries to get past Cal the touch, but it ends up back to the Fatburn Rovers players, and James there with a great save there as we enter the last bit of play. Terry looking to find a player but cannot make it far. Full time from the referee. 3-1 the final score. game number 8 in week 4, season 9. Fat Five Football sees O.B City versus Bayern Bru, who have just struck the back of the net on the first attack there. Brilliant start here for Bayern Bru straight from the kickoff there. Cheesy interplaying there with Andrew, and then Cheesy slots it into the back of the net to make an instant start in this game, and for another week running, interrupt my introduction. To just finish that off for viewers, O.B City in black shooting left to right, and Bayern Bru in purple, who are winning by 1 goal, shooting from right to left. So now that is out the way, O.B City trying to get forward now through Captain Willie, but he's got himself some company there in Kier, and he does get the shot away, and it's cleared all the way up the other pitch by Paul, and goes for Bayern Bru. Bayern Bru now looking to come forward. Good ball up to Cheesy there. Looks played to Andrew. Andrew now, ball at feet, takes a shot, and the save there by Stevie, and it bounced off for Willie. There's some shouts there that Willie's in the box, but I don't think so. We'll have a look at this after some controversy earlier as well. Yeah, completely out the box there as well from Willie. So, you know, there's no reason for people to be shouting about it, to be honest. It looked like it was fine from here, and it does on the replay there. It looked like it was fine. So Bayern Bru now have the ball, looking to come forward through Martin, and cruelly it bounces off the post there for Martin, and Bayern Bru will look to get away with the ball here. Taylor looking to win it, and meets with the foot of Goggs, just a bit of force through the ball, nothing wrong there as Brian gets the shot away, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. Good to see Taylor up on his feet now as Lewis takes the shot. It's closed down by Andrew, but it's still in the Bayern Bru half. They still can't get this ball away as eventually goes all the way through, and Stevie will pick that up for O.B City there. Look to play it quickly to Lewis. Lewis now takes a shot, but it's closed down now, and now there's a chance for Martin to come forward. Martin for Bayern Bru still coming forward, plays the ball wide to Kier, and it is in. The on-loan commissioner player Kier for his second week now has scored while on loan. Great bit of play here from Bayern Bru. They had some fortunate blocks there that allowed them to push forward into the O.B City half, but no denying the quality of the finish there from Kier, and big credit there to Martin for finding them there on the edge of the box. So 2-0 now for Bayern Bru, who have got themselves into the driving seat here, and O.B City looking to push back quickly as it goes through to Brian, but it's in the box there, and well collected there by Paul, I have to say. Nice little touch to take it away. Willie looks to try and get the ball off of Andrew there, but is unable to, and it's now into the corner camera here, and unfortunately, as we always say, we do lose sight when it goes into those corners, just the way the cameras are set up. But Stevie has a ball now through to Brian. A little bit of a heavy touch, but Willie will pick it up and scoops it all the way through to the goalkeeper there. It's going to stay in the box. It does. So Paul's collected it there, and Bayern Bru will look to start again. Martin has Goggs there to keep him company as he looks to try and get past Goggs, but Goggs gets the block. Andrew there on the other side, though, can collect it for him, and then it goes back to Paul. Paul looking to get his team underway, and a long ball up to the O.B City half, and Martin will get on the end of that, but it looks like he's lost it now, and Brian is played through by Goggs. Brian through to Willie, and Willie gets the goal there. A bit of a mix up from me in the build up there. It's Goggs that plays it into Brian, and then Brian plays it across to Willie, and Willie gets it into the back of the net there. Great finish by the captain. Normally finds himself in the defensive line at the back, but this time ventured forward and reaped the rewards. It's 2-1 now to Bayern Bru. Willie there again in a goal for his team to cut away at the Bayern Bru lead. Bayern Bru now coming forward through Andrew, and there's the block from the captain there I was mentioning, where he normally finds himself, and Goggs tries to force the ball all the way through to Stephen, but he can't. Eventually does land with Stephen, and Stephen hits the post there. Apologies for being a little bit behind on the commentary. There was just so much action they was trying to catch up. As Stephen collects the ball, referee plays advantage, though it might have been hitting a bit high or low on the arm, but it's landed with Stephen anyway, so the advantage was played there correctly by the referee. Willie plays it over to Goggs. Goggs now looking to come forward, plays it to Stephen. Will he get the 1-2? He does get the ball back. Goggs continues forward, bad to Stephen. Stephen with a touch, and it rolls in the back of the net, and Stephen gets a second goal for O.B City here. Goals coming forward, plays it through the little gap there. Stephen gets the tiny touch in front of Taylor there, and it very calmly rolls into the back of the net. And O.B City are back into this game now, with the score being tied at 2-2. As Keir looks to launch it long to Taylor. Taylor brings it down under feet, but cannot find a teammate there. We also apologise for any confusion just with Stephen for O.B City's talk there. It's the black one with the little splashes of pink, but we recognise on the camera it might look quite similar, so apologies for that. We're unable to find them a bit prior to kick-off. As Matt comes through and goes there, but it is saved by Paul once again and goes. And Martin's away now. Martin on the run. Martin with the shot. Martin with the goal. Brilliant finish there by Martin for Bayern Bru, and they find themselves back in the lead once again. A nice little turn of pace away from Goggs there, as Goggs tries to catch up after losing that ground to him, but Martin shoots some distance, and Stevie in goals cannot get a hand on it. It is 3-2 now to Bayern Bru in this game, as they edge ahead with that goal from Martin, and they will be delighted with that. O.B City still coming forward though. Stephen has the ball at feet, looking to push forward, looks to play back to Matt, but the ball's been lost. Keir picks it up. Now Martin once again, and Martin just shoots wide of the goal as the ball ends up halfway. Goggs plays that ball though to Stephen, and Stephen now, ball at feet, looks to come forward. Stephen with the shot, Stephen with the goal, and it's 3-0 when the opportunity looked like it had been lost there. Goggs is able to find Stephen. Stephen with a nice little turn. Nobody closing down Stephen until right at the end. He manages to get it through the legs of Cheesy there and into the back of the net to make it 3-0. And the teams find themselves now all square once again in this match. 3-0 the scoreline. O.B City will be delighted to find themselves back in that position. Bayern Bru will be frustrated after having the lead a couple of times now, especially a 2-goal lead. Brian has an opportunity though, and the save there from Paul Lewis now, but it is blocked by the defender. And we now enter the last bits of play, and ignore those air horns that we spoke about beforehand, as Lewis shoots wide and over. The ball is tried to be collected there. People shouting sub. People think it's full time because of the air horns, but it's not. It is now 3-3, full time the score. Game number 9, week 4, season 9. Fat Bice Football sees Fatburn Rovers versus O.B City. Fatburn Rovers in green shooting left to right, and O.B City in black shooting right to left. Early on there, the save from Stevie Ingalls from O.B City, having to deny the early shot from Fatburn Rovers here. Fatburn Rovers on the attack once again with John, ball at feet, looking to get forward, finds Mitchell with the shot, and Stevie there with another save there, as you can hear the teammates on the side cheering them on. Fatburn Rovers now in the defence. Tazzy Ingalls playing it out to Sean. Nice little back heel there. Can he find Mitchell? Another back heel there to Terry. And Terry's shot is saved there by Stevie, unfortunately for them. But O.B City will be glad that their goalkeeper stood strong there. O.B City under quite a bit of pressure here, and they're trying to get forward, but the ball is loose now. John's going to win that, and this shot just wide. Terry is being shouted on the teammates to play the pass, but the ball is through to Willie now. Willie is up against the board as Mitchell tries to get away. Willie has it again, looks to play in the middle to Brian. Oh, and Brian hits the post unbelievably there. Hits the post, and O.B City don't go in front in this game as Stevie produces another save against Mitchell. Brian up against John. Brian makes it through, takes a shot, and Tazzy there with it looks like he tipped that onto the post. But what a brilliant save there if he did. If not, as once again Brian denied. I mean, he was denied by the woodwork anyway after the save, but it might have been full credit to Tazzy as John's header just goes wide of the goal there, and that would be an incredible header to have here at Fat Fives Football. We have had headers scored beforehand, but none as spectacular as that by John, as Willie plays his own little game of head tennis there, and then John's on through, but it's been blocked down by Goggs. From Lewis to Goggs. Rebound, Goggs on it. Goggs with the second chance after it hits the backboard, and it is converted there. Lewis couldn't get the ball out from his feet there. Goggs jumps on the opportunity, hits the backboard, and then in front of Timber there, wins the ball and hits it on the second attempt, and it is 1-0 to O.B City in this game. Fatburn Rovers kicking us off again to get us underway as the ball plays from Timber to John. Timber now chasing that ball into the corner there and looking to come out on top with it, but unable to make anything from a player down there, and the ball rattles the cage aside there. Lewis up okay as Timber plays it through to John on the half volley, and then the ball is swallowed up by the sign is there. Eventually we get the ball back into play, and we are carrying on now as O.B City are on the defence once again as Lenny plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Stevie looking for option. There's the run by Goggs after the shout, and it's a long ball using the boards there, but Goggs looks like he's got it into the corner there. Lenny comes over for support now as the ball misses Lenny but lands at Stephen. Stephen turns away from John, and Stephen gets another goal there. Brilliant play there by O.B City. Stephen collecting that ball there, taking that little touch to move away from John, and then on the turn shoots it. It might have gone through the legs of Tazi there, but it's very hard to see from this angle to fully confirm that. We'll maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. But viewers, if you know that for sure, feel free to comment on in the comment section below the video, outlining the Tazi nutmeg there. Lenny looking to push the team forward, but it's closed down there. And once again, as we say to everybody, ignore those air horns. They are not ours. It is a tournament being played in the background. The screams are definitely ours, though, as Stephen comes forward there, and the save is made by Tazi. Remember, if you want to come down at any time to scream on our boys on Friday nights at Goals at Aberdeen, you're more than welcome to. As the goalkeeper makes the save, and Fatburn Rovers are shouting for the penalty, saying he's out the box there. But the ball's played up to Stephen, and Stephen slots the ball away, and Timber boots that away in frustration there. Goggs pointing to where Stephen needs to go there, and the ball is played through to him there. He takes it first time and slots it past Timber. Great goal there, but let's have a quick look at that shout. Is there something for them to complain about here, Fatburn Rovers? The keeper comes out there. The keeper, it looks like he's just in the box there. It is very tight there, and to be honest, it could go either way there. Do not say, as the commentator, I do not say that is a mistake from the referee. I think that it's a 50-50 there that could have been called either way, and either team would have had a complaint. So the game continues on in this match, and it's 3-0 to O.B City as Fatburn Rovers look to compose themselves to try and get back into this game. After 2 games in a row, they found themselves 3 goals behind. Tazi in the middle of the pitch there, looking to find a teammate there, does so, and then Mitchell has it on the far side. Mitchell to John in the middle of the pitch. Will he get the shot away? He does. Might have taken a little nick, but it's definitely John's goal, and that is a goal for Fatburn Rovers in this match. Mitchell there laying it off to John. John got a ruckus of boys to get it through there. If it did take a touch, it's taken the slightest of touches. Definitely John's goal there. And it's 3-1 in this match now, as O.B City let it run through all the way through to the goalkeeper from kickoff, who looks to get it up the pitch to Brian. But unfortunately, nothing created from there. And amazingly, we have entered the last bit of play here. There, an accidental handball. That's not our air horn, as I keep saying. But the referee blows for full time here. 3-1 to O.B City. Game number 10 on week 4 sees Ivory Toast versus Bayern Bru. Ivory Toast in yellow, shooting from left to right. Bayern Bru in purple, shooting from right to left. This is always an exciting matchup when these two teams face each other. Both of them came and joined the league at the same time, so they are the same ages as the newer teams of the league. It's always interesting to see how these teams develop as the seasons go on. David now with the ball at feet for Ivory Toast, pushing forward with some space, and he breaks the deadlock here early on. 1-0 to Ivory Toast in this match. Edges forward with the ball at his feet. Coco there, arms behind the back, obviously tried not to let one of them get hit by the ball, but David uses that opportunity there to make some space and get the shot away. Oh, word to Coco, don't worry. If the ball hits you, obviously, from that short of distance, we're not going to expect the handball there. I'm not. Maybe the players were. I don't know. I'm not on the pitch there. But yeah, David gets the shot away and gets the opening goal there. So 1-0 to Ivory Toast in this match as the ball goes all the way through to Paul there. Coco, ball at feet now, looking to go up against David this time, but he's lost out. David with a lovely turn. David through on goals. And David with the goal as Coco's flat on his back on the pitch there. I mean, okay. It was a great turn by David there, Coco. I wouldn't feel bad about it, to be honest. But David gets a second goal there for Ivory Toast, and they are now 2-0 lead in this match. Actually, I'm laughing. I think maybe Coco injured himself because he's now off the pitch. But it's 2-0 anyway after a roster of substitutions there, at least for Bayern Bru. I think one or two new faces on the pitch for Ivory Toast as Buther's on his way through. And it's shot too hard and too high there. And Paul in goals for Bayern Bru makes the save there. So the game stays at 2-0 as the action happens in the Ivory Toast corner there. Care there with the loose ball, try to get the shot away. They're shouting for a penalty, I think, as David plays the ball across to Liam. Liam with open goal, and the goal there, Bayern Bru are absolutely protesting what they feel is the goalkeeper coming out the box there. Ivory Toast played on there, and Liam gets the ball in the back of the net there. Empty goals. Have a look at this again. The Care there with the shot there. Bounces off the keeper, who is feet in there. I mean, that's again, that looks very difficult from our angle from it there. It looks very close. It's maybe a better angle on the pitch. Cannot say from my commentator's position here with the camera. But yeah, all we know is Bayern Bru clearly had that aggravation there that meant they opened up at the back for Ivory Toast. And the scoreline is 3-0 with the referee waving play on as a save there made by MJ in goals to Ivory Toast. And it remains at 3-0. The Bayern Bru pick up the loose ball here and maybe carve out an opportunity through Martin. Martin run with the ball, plays it out to Cheesy. Cheesy back to Martin in the middle of the pitch. The ball's just rolled away from though Crowley as Buther runs towards the camera side of the pitch, ball at feet. Switches across to David. David, nice little touch. Two players back. Doesn't matter. David gets the shot away, and it's now 4-0 in this match. And Bayern Bru will be absolutely livid with what they believe previously should have been a penalty. They now find themselves 4-0 down in this game as they kick off once again in this match. Bayern Bru just need to take a minute and just collect themselves and build themselves an opportunity in this match. We've seen them go forward a couple of times now with a couple of chances, so they can definitely get themselves back into this as the ball is played wide here as Ivory Toast look to come forward. Ball played into David, back into the middle there. Martin battling there, and the save there from Paul in goals. Ivory Toast once again trying to switch to play there. Care with a nice little touch on it though, take away from David, but David chase it, wins it first. David still the ball. David with a shot. Paul there with the save to keep it at 4-0. Bayern Bru showing some better defensive work here now, keeping the scoreline as it is for now. Kev away from Coco. Kev pushes forward there. Cheesy comes across and closes it down there, but Kev has the ball up in the Bayern Bru half through to David. David takes a shot. David with another goal in this match. 5-0 now the scoreline. David with a number of goals to his name now. Paul coming out to the edge of the box there, trying to make the save. Round of applause there from David for the ball that's been played to him. Ivory Toast loving this. David now with 4 goals, already surpassed his hat-trick now. And it's 5-0 in this game. Still quite a bit of time left in this match. So plenty of time for Bayern Bru to come back into this. On the long ball played up there to Martin, but Martin unable to get to the end of that pass there. MJ telling him to push forward as Liam goes to collect there. Coco coming back to the middle of the pitch to try and close them down there. Teasing defence there. Liam still going. David has it. Nice little turn away from Care there and puts it in the back of the net for a 5th goal for David and a 6th for Ivory Toast here. David is a one-man machine. Lovely little turn there and the shot away there into the bottom corner. Finishing has been absolutely clinical from David and the Ivory Toast players. And as we say, we've said this in several videos before, ignore the air horns. Nothing to do with our game. As Paul looks to throw all the way out to Taylor there. Obviously a big fan base there for Taylor. And he hits the post, unfortunately, and Liam looks to collect the ball. Loose ball, still has it though, as Martin looks to get a tackle in. Taylor comes across to win the ball, and the shot there just against the board in the second, and Martin can't get it on target there. There will be a shout that obviously that will be a slide from Martin. However, it looked like he just lost his foot in there which is allowed. As Ivory Toast with the break here, the ball lands with Kevin. Kevin through to David. David, now let's get the shot. David hits wide of the goals there. So we clearly see that David is not hitting the target every time he has the ball. As Kev wins the ball off a Coco there. Kev coming through. Kev with the shot. And Kev hits wide now. And that's 2 opportunities for Ivory Toast there that's gone wide. As Liam looks to try and get the ball in, but Taylor picks up the ball. Bayern Bru looking to come forward here, finding Kier. There is a run there and an interception, and now Ivory Toast have the ball back in their possession as they look to come forward once again. Liam coming forward now. Liam continue to come forward. Liam with the shot there, and it's rolled into the back of the net there for a 7th goal for Ivory Toast here. I started off this video saying it's interesting to see how these two teams fare up as the seasons go, considering that they join the league at the same time. Ivory Toast definitely giving Bayern Bru a torrid time here. Great finish there by Liam on that solo run. And the scoreline reads 7-0 now as Liam comes forward once again, playing through to David. Can David play back to Liam? And Liam with another goal in this game, and that's 8-0. And you can see the frustration there on the faces of the Bayern Bru players. The arms go up in protest, in frustration there. There's not much more to say about it. It's been a tough night. It's been a tough game for Bayern Bru in this match. But they just need to stick it out. Final game for them of this week, of week 4. But they have a chance here through with Martin, playing it through to Taylor. Taylor now, ball at feet, looks to make the 1-2 with Martin. Martin tries to play it to him, still has it though. And can he make something from this? It's been intercepted though by David. And that's the last thing that Bayern Bru will want to see. David charging forward with the ball. Still has it. And the other thing they don't want to see is Liam with the ball in front of goal. But David's put it in the back of the net after all that back and forth between the players there. Liam playing it back to David. Martin it's just so cruel. That right foot bounces off and lands right in front of David. There is nothing more than they could have done with that. He's just trying to actually make the tackle with the left foot, and the right foot's the standing foot it bounces off of. It's just been a really tough night for Bayern Bru, you have to say. I say night, I mean game more than anything. This one's been really, really tough on them. As Ivory Toast continues to come forward, and Liam has just, I said earlier about Parmesan Belgrade almost kicking the dead horse. I mean, Ivory Toast has done the same thing here, to be fair. 10-0, the scoreline. Again, as I said about Parmesan Belgrade, we'll never tell the boys not to score goals. So full credit to Ivory Toast for looking to improve their goal difference in the league dramatically with this result. And credit to them for keeping a clean sheet at the back so far. Although can Bayern Bru do anything to disrupt maybe that part of the game and get something? It's Coco on the run there, but blasts it against Greg. Martin looks to pick the ball up near side camera. Needs to play quick though, time's running out. Referee blows for full time. 10-0 the final score. We're on game number 11, Flaberdeen versus Parmesan Belgrade. Flaberdeen in blue, shooting left to right, and Parmesan Belgrade in white, shooting right to left. A little note, I will apologise for Bernie, who was just on the ball there. His top, quite of a light blue, enough the referee felt comfortable with it, but just in case viewers get a little bit confused there, apologise in advance. We didn't have any spare bibs to give him this week. Long ball there from Parmesan Belgrade, up off the board, finding Stephen in the Paddy, and Paddy scores very early on in this match. The long ball tactic worked there. Stephen picked up the ball there, and Paddy comes rushing in and slots it into the back of the net. Paul tries to adjust his feet to get into position to make the save, but unable to. And Parmesan Belgrade break the deadlock here in this game. 1-0 to them in this match as they look to get things going once again. The ball played through to Michael. Michael finding Paddy. Paddy now. There's a run from Michael. Can he get the end of it? Oh, it's so unlucky. Took that well in the volley, but just straight at the goalkeeper, and Paul collected it with ease. As Sean on the run there, but Paddy comes across and makes the interception. The ball rolled out quickly to Stephen. Stephen now through on goal. Will he shoot? He does, and he gets another goal to his name in this match and this week. Stephen comes forward there, collects that ball to feet, and then takes the shot, slotting it just past Paul there into that bottom corner. Parmesan Belgrade extend their lead in this match. 2-0 now in this game to the boys in white as they look to come forward once again with the ball, but unfortunately it's now Flaberdeen with the ball at their feet. Sean looking to play possibly the 1-2, but the chance is stopped there, and the save from Lewis, and the quick roll out, but Burney's intercepted. Can Burney get the shot away here? Through on goal, takes the roll. What a save there from Lewis. In goals for Parmesan Belgrade. Great save there from them. And now Paul for Flaberdeen looking to get his team underway. The long ball, they'll play it all the way up, and Lewis will just receive that with thanks in his own boxes. Now Stephen has the ball at feet. Stephen looking to go forward. He's got Chucky there. Will he use him? Doesn't use him, and still scores. And Stephen gets a second to his name in this match, and another goal for the total tally this week. Once again, we saw that in the previous game. The dummy with the hand being raised there and then puts it down, and then it goes again afterwards, giving people a little bit of the throw off there with the signals. But it's 3-0 to Parmesan Belgrade as they've won the ball once again. Stephen this time does find Chucky. Chucky now finding Stephen once again in the middle of the pitch. Will he shoot? Tries to back it. I don't want to see this for a third game, the back heel, Stephen. I said this in the last game, but Paddy slots it away. For those who haven't been watching all the games and have jumped into this one, that would have been in 3 games Stephen has pulled off a back heel goal technically, but didn't this time. It's Paddy with the goal. Well, a little bit more professionalism from Paddy there as he slots it away properly. Honestly, it's nothing against Stephen. I was just immense to see it happen so many times in these games. But unfortunately for Flaberdeen, it is 4-0 now in this game. But Sean has pulled back one, and this is something we didn't see till later on in the other games, that the opposite team has now pulled one back earlier on than you would have said the other teams had, and maybe expected. Great finish there by Sean. Headed from distance, well, not distance, headed into the far corner there is the more accurate way of saying it. A really tight angle, found the far corner and got it past Paul after some impressive saves by Paul earlier, as that ball just makes it into the Parmesan Belgrade keeper box there by Michael. So Parmesan Belgrade trying to look forward, come again, but they've lost the ball now as Burney comes forward. Can Burney get another? No, it's saved. I thought Burney was going to get another goal here, and this would have really made the game interesting. But the ball's been rolled out to Paddy. Paddy now with the pass. I swear to you, honestly, someone needs to stop Parmesan Belgrade scoring these back heel goals. If it's not Stephen doing it, it's now Paddy doing it. But it's missed. It's went wide. It's now 4-1 as Stephen's received the ball now. Stephen with the shot. Stephen completes his hat-trick in this game. 5-1 now the score. Stephen did a good job intercepting that, and then the defence here a little bit lacklustre, but a great shot there by Stephen to get it in the back of the net. And Flaberdeen raise their heads to the sky. They are in desperation of this match. It's still only 5-1. As we've seen in previous games, some of these score lines this week have been ridiculously high, so there's every chance that Flaberdeen can still come back into this game. However, I may have just cursed them as Chucky finds Johnny after some brilliant dancing. Johnny takes the shot and it's in the back of the net. It's a massive cheer of joy there from Johnny. He's maybe didn't expect to get the goal, but he has, and it is 6-1 in this match now to Parmesan Belgrade. Flaberdeen unfortunately finding themselves kicking off once again in this match. Now 5 goals behind in this game as Paul looks to try and play it through but unable to. Johnny having an opportunity here on the edge of the box. It's just rolled a little bit wide, maybe too much for him. But he's come back in, he's found Chucky. Save there from Jamie, and I'll tell you what, at this stage in the game, that is going to give a little bit of confidence and a little bit of a boost to both Flaberdeen and also to Jamie in the goals early on that he's made that difference, and that's from a bit of a personal experience, I have to say there. As the ball goes across the goal there, and it's hit high and wide, and possibly a chance for Flaberdeen now as the ball's rolled out to Ross. Ross with the shot. Ross with the goal there, the commissioner player helping to reduce this difference right now. And as I said, potentially that save from Jamie just as he went into goals there, or just after he went into goals there, that might be a bit of a spark of joy that has led to that goal for Flaberdeen or a bit of hope is maybe the more accurate way of saying it. But Flaberdeen have got a second goal, and now it's only 4 goals rather than the 5. If they can keep on top of Parmesan Belgrade, they'll be able to get back into this. Johnny pointing where he wants Jordan. Nobody's went with him, and Jordan's got the goal to make it 7-2. And again, I think I'm going to stop giving predictions. I think I've just cursed again the team. Jordan there, great run after seeing Johnny's pointing there. Gets on the end of that ball and then hits it into the back of the net to make it 7-2 in this match. Flaberdeen on the defence now, but the long ball by Jamie up there to Sean. Sean with a shot, and Sean with the goal from distance, and gets a little bit clawed back into that lead of Parmesan Belgrade, cutting it back down to only 4 goals. And maybe Flaberdeen haven't given up yet. They've maybe still got that hope that they can get something out of this. Good to see, though, they're still battling away despite the scoreline. 7-3 to Parmesan Belgrade as Scott intercepts the ball and looks to get forward, but he's got Jordan for company. Scott does well to hold off Jordan, but I think he's lost it there. He has. It goes all the way back to the Parmesan Belgrade goalkeeper. The ball up into the Parmesan Belgrade half, and if Flaberdeen can get a hold of it now, they'll have an opportunity, but it looks like it's lost once again, and possession switches to Parmesan Belgrade. Johnny playing it to Michael. Michael now playing it back all the way across. It goes back to Johnny. Eventually does arrive back to Johnny, and Johnny gets a second goal there, and that is some good teamwork there from Parmesan Belgrade. You have to say Sean unfortunately pulled away off of Jordan in the back post, and then Johnny standing in the middle there. I think they all expected Jordan to take the shot there, but it's played back to Johnny in the middle, and it's now 8-3 with Johnny getting 2 goals to his name now. Flaberdeen, they will be exhausted at this point. Last game of this week's fixtures, and it is going in the direction of Parmesan Belgrade. Burnley looking to try and get a lovely ball, and he does through to Scott with a back heel, and unfortunately it looks like it's just bounced off the post there for Scott. Great move by Flaberdeen, just unfortunate to not have a finish at the end. Sean looking to play in Burnley. Burnley now has an opportunity to get the ball into control. He does to Sean, and Sean's just hit wide with that. That's a great move there from Flaberdeen. Clearly still have the ability to open up Parmesan Belgrade so late into this match. Sean picks up the ball there. Burnley has the ball. Nice roll away from Jordan there. And it's just wide from Burnley. Honestly, if these chances had gone in, Flaberdeen would be right back into this. And you have to say it's just because of the lack of hitting the target more than the goalkeeper denying them. But Stephen now has the ball for Parmesan Belgrade. Stephen now. And Stephen with the finish there. Cool as you like, cut into the middle of the pitch there and just calmly slots it into the bottom corner there. Lovely control there. Looks like he's going to blast it and just hits it into the bottom corner there. 9-3 now in this match. Parmesan Belgrade starting to, well, they already have run away with this, you have to say. But it looks like that door of opportunity for Flaberdeen to come back in is now shut in this case. And Flaberdeen are probably going to be best to try and close up shop at the back and try and avoid conceding any more, so we don't see another incredibly high scoring game. As a good save there from Jamie. Reflexes there as Michael got his shot away in a bit of the melee and unable to convert it, Michael in this case, into a goal. But Jamie produced the save. Burnley still running though with the ball at his feet. And a save there by Lewis to deny Burnley. Great opportunity created there by Solo and Burnley as the shot just goes wide there from Stephen for Parmesan. Johnny picked up the ball though. Far side has Sean for company. Everybody's looking static. You can tell people are kind of just winding down the clock here, you have to say, as Jordan now makes a late run through the middle. Jordan with the run. Jordan with the finish. Massive credit for putting that into the bottom corner there from distance. Jordan with the run late into this game on his own. Shot from about halfway line there. And unfortunately, Jamie can't get down to make the save. And it goes into the back of net. Now it's 10-3 in this game. Clearly the game is not over. Paddy's now picked it up straight after the kickoff from Flaberdeen. Paddy on a solo run. Paddy with a solo goal. Unbelievable. These boys are still going this late into the game there. Paddy bypasses 2 players there, and then on the far side decides to take the shot and slots it into the back of the net there, and it's 11-3 in this game. Flaberdeen boys just look like as if they want to get this game over and done with. I don't blame them, but once again the ball is lost, and unfortunately for Paddy this time it rolls into the goalkeeper's box. Flaberdeen will be elated that ball's just run away from Paddy there, as the shot is blocked by the own player of Flaberdeen there, and now Parmesan have the chance to come forward. Jordan to Paddy. Paddy gets it over to Chucky. They're toying with Flaberdeen here, but Burnley with the save there, and Burnley will take it into the corner there now. Burnley looking to come out away from it. It's been stopped by Paddy though, and Paddy slots in the back of the net. Nightmare scenario as Burnley look to play that into the middle of the pitch there. Paddy just stepped into it there and collects the ball and then just hits it. And it is 12-3, and this is just capitulated here for Flaberdeen. Referee blows for full time. 12-3 final score. Final game of week 4 Fat Fives football sees Scrandinavia versus Rapid Viennetta. Scrandinavia in red shooting left to right, and Rapid Viennetta in orange shooting right to left. It has been an incredible week of high scoring results in this week's highlights, and we see it will look to see if it finishes off in the same vein that it has all week. And I can tell you, as commentator with a very rough voice this week, I am thankful we're on this last game. So hopefully no goals, 0-0. I'm going to get this done within a couple of seconds, but knowing my luck, that won't be the case. As Rapid Viennetta there early on, Aiden's shot from distance, saved by Barry. Brilliantly dramatic save. Not over dramatic, but still great for the cameras, great for the action shot there, and he'll be delighted to see himself on there with that save. There's a shot from Stephen, just goes wide of goal there. Thomas looks to come across and collect this ball, but unable to get a good first off, but manages to get away to a teammate. Stephen there with a lovely touch now, pushing forward. Can Stephen get another goal? And it's just wide. Stephen, who's been on great goal scoring form, making his debut this week at Fat Fives football. He has made some critical goals for Scrandinavia, both scoring and providing massive impact for him, but unfortunately unable to there as Rapid Viennetta hit high over the Scrandinavia goal there. Scrandinavia just making a little substitution here as Thomas goes off and is replaced by another teammate, and we'll find out who that is in just a second. Is Adam, who's on pitch now for Thomas as the ball goes all the way up to Stephen. Stephen there opposite side. Stephen with the shot. It's more like a cannon rather than a shot there. Hit with absolute power there and gets it into the back of the net to make it 1-0 to Scandinavia in this match. Absolutely leathered that ball. All solo work there after a brilliant pass from Adam on the far side of the pitch. And Scandinavia go into this game 1-0 up now. Rapid have the ball at their feet, looking to come forward here. Graham looking for a teammate there, looks to try and play it back to Cal, but is forced all the way back to his goalkeeper, James, to start again. Graham there coming forward with the ball, takes the shot. It looks like it's taking a nick and it's gone in. And we can't tell who the ball has bounced off of there, but it's certainly gone down as a goal for Rapid Vienna. I think the credit is going to Graham in this match. And that is 1-1 in this game. Incredible comeback there. You see Graham raising the arm to claim that it was his goal, and he'll be delighted with that credit for the goal that gets his team back into this game. So 1-1 now the scoreline between the teams in this match. Scandinavia looking to get away on the break, but the save there by James, and unfortunately unable to win that second ball to create another opportunity for themselves. Rapid Viennetta though coming forward now as it looks to be played it to Mark, and Mark's shot saved there by Barry in goal. So the scoreline remains 1-1. I think it's a bit of a shout there, but nothing they could see wrong there from my angle here from the commentator's box. As Graham, there's his shot is saved by Barry, and the scoreline remains unchanged. Cal coming forward with the ball now, takes the shot. Barry once again the saves, it bounces off Adam. Adam takes it into the corner, looks to start again. Long ball up to Stephen there. Stephen looks like he's going to get to that first in the corner. Unfortunately, as well, we can't see the angle there as Chris arrives at the edge of the box. Great ball there by Stephen to find Chris, and it is a second goal for Scandinavia in this match. Brilliant there from Chris to arrive late at the edge of the box, receives that ball from Stephen, and then slots it into the back of the net to make it 2-1 to Scandinavia. Rapid Viennetta looking to get forward now with the ball across their side with Aiden. Looks to find Niall coming towards the camera here. Has Homer for company now. Plays it up the line to Aiden. And they get an opportunity here. Aaron looks to switch across the mark, and Mark's shot is saved there by Barry. Great goalkeeping there. The ball's still in play though, but eventually it makes it all the way back to Barry in goal. Looks to play to Stephen. But it has been intercepted there, and once again possession changing hands again as it lands with Niall, who cannot get the shot on target, and Adam looks to pick that ball up now. Looking to play a long ball up, does so, and it's not quite entered the goalkeeper's box, and Stephen looks like he's won it. Stephen in front of goals. Could Stephen get the shot away? The turn. And he's got it now eventually. I didn't know when he was going to pull the trigger on that one there. It's tossing and turning. It is twisting and turning, to be more exact. But the ball glued to his feet there. Two defenders there and a goalkeeper couldn't stop him. And he finds the back of the net for Scrandinavia to make the lead 3-1 in this match, extending the lead by 2 goals. Brilliant finish there by Stephen, who has been of a massive impact this week on his debut week, and Scandinavia extend their lead as Niall looks to play that ball all the way back to his goalkeeper for safety purposes, with Homer lurking there. Rapid Viennetta looking to get things started once again as the referee tells him to play the ball up to the opposition half, as the ball had went out from a save there, and Chris looks to find Thomas now. Thomas doing goal. Thomas for the shot. Brilliant finish there by Thomas. The ball slaps off of James's hand. It sounded like he got a bit of a save onto it, but unfortunately cannot deny the ball there. You see a little bit of a touch there, and I think that's where the frustration. In fact, James is looking at his hand there. He definitely got a touch, but unable to keep it out there. And the scoreline reads 4-1 in this match. Scrandinavia have been deadly when they've went through on goals, and that'll be a big thanks to the likes of Stephen as well, who's helped them with that. Rapid Viennetta having to defend. Thomas over the shot is blocked, and then just right by Thomas, and eventually the ball bounces into James in goals for Rapid Viennetta's box. Last bit of play here, and it's up in Rapid Viennetta's half as the shot from Ian just high there. It will be played all the way back to the keeper. Full time here, 4-1 to Scrandinavia. On screen now, we have the confirmed final results for week 4, as you can see on your screen there, including impressive 12-goal wins for Parmesan Belgrade in 2 of their games and a 10-0 win for Ivory. Finally, look at the league table. Parmesan Belgrade jumped to top with 24 points. Fatburn Rovers moved to second on 22. O.B City on 23rd. Ivory and Scrandinavia both on 18, separated by goal difference. Fat Fives are constantly looking for new players. Our registration window is never closed. You can find our player registration form at our website, fatfives.football. Fat Fives are delighted to offer sponsorship opportunities for local, national and international businesses. If you'd like to find out more about sponsorship opportunities, go to our website at fatfives.football/sponsor. Don't forget to like and subscribe to make sure that you're notified of all the highlights for this upcoming season.